Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're either catching me on my YouTube channel True Divine 44 or my Facebook page True Divine 44. Like, share, subscribe, comments, anything to support either or both of those is greatly appreciated, and much love to all of you who have done so far. I hope that you continue to invite your friends to like it if you like what I do, and go over to the YouTube channel to help grow that. It's a bit small at the moment, and subscribe. So I'm putting out as many general tarot readings in various different formats as I can, getting in a routine with it all, but I'm trying to be on time with the March 2020 general tarot readings for each sign, so that you can have the information ahead of time so that you can use it to the most optimum if it does resonate with you. Of course, it's a general tarot reading, not a personal tarot reading, so some of it might resonate with you, some of it might not. It might all resonate with you, it might all not, depending on where you are and how I'm connecting with you. But there's fabulous tarot readers out there, so if you don't connect with me, look outside of that and look at some of the other tarot readers that you might connect with on that particular month. But I hope you come back to me and see if it resonates with you next time. So this is a general monthly tarot reading for Aries, March 2020, Aries being the first. So I've done it week by week this time to try and shorten it a little bit so that I can get them out on time. The first card, the first week, let's represent week by week. So the first card representing week 1 is this Three of Cups, this adorable card where there's lots of camaraderie, teamwork, bliss, merriment and contentment. So you've been working together with people that you really do appreciate, that you appreciate their skills, that you really do admire, and they seem to bring the best out in you, Aries, if this resonates with you. So there's this blissful moment, this blissful time of working together with people who you really do respect and appreciate, and you feel like you're appreciated and respected back. Really a wish fulfillment with this Nine of Cups card. To clarify it, there's a lot of emotion and passion behind this, something that you really connect to emotionally, something that really stirs you, music, art, something creative that really gets you going. And you've had this opportunity coming up in this first week of March to really grab a hold and be a part of a team that you enjoy being a part of a set of people that you have friendship with, as well as maybe working together with. There's a real wish fulfillment card. If this represents relationship for you, then this shows that, you know, week 1 in March is and of course I'm putting it by time, but you know, it'll merge and blend together and happen at different times for all of you. So if this does represent a relationship, there's this alignment, this both of you seem to have a similar wish, both of you seem to be working well together and understand each other and have this blissful time, this blissful moment. So build on that and see what works, see what doesn't, and keep that going if it is relationship wise. But there's this real sense of, I'm doing what I love to do, I'm doing what I'm passionate about, and I'm enjoying it in week 1 of March 2020. The second card, Aries. And I feel like for a long time, a lot of you Aries have sort of had a burst of success, a burst of, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, this realization, this self-realization. But then all of a sudden, for some reason, you strip that away from yourself somehow. You take it away from yourself, and you don't build on it enough. You don't continue with it enough. As soon as there seems to be the slightest obstacle or the slightest disagreement, it's like, I'm out. And you walk away from something that you actually love doing. So I don't understand that and why you're doing that. And I think you need to look within if this resonates with you as to why, what are these triggers that trigger you enough to leave something that you obviously love and enjoy so very much, a team that you enjoy being around so very much. And it's almost like you've given yourself a bad name with these people that you truly respect. Because in the second week we have the Fire Queen, the Queen of Wands, which is in reverse. So where this Queen is content, again like the first two cards, happy, she's passionate, she knows what she wants, she knows how to get it, but she's a woman of the people. Now this is for male or female. It represents the divine feminine, divine masculine within, but there's this feeling of self-sabotage, where you can't just live in that moment of happiness, you can't just live in that moment of success and build on it. It's like this sabotage comes in for something that you're truly passionate about and truly connected to, for people that you're truly passionate about and truly connected to. But it's like too much of a good thing, and you start to panic, and it's sort of, you pull back, and other people aren't understanding why. So that causes real disagreement, or just an air of discontentment, because people thought you were getting on so well and doing so well and achieving so much together. So there's this feeling of self-sabotage, and I hate to say it, but I felt it for a while for Aries, in that, and only if this resonates with you, of course everyone's different, but as a collective, this feeling of you're putting yourself out in the cold with this Five of Pentacles. Nobody's doing this to you. It's like you do this to you. You withdraw. You see things that are as insults, where insults don't even exist. People haven't even said the things that they've said to you, that you think, or that you've made up in your head that they've said to you. So there's this real self-sabotage and putting yourself out in the doghouse when nobody else is actually doing that. There's this real sense of oversensitivity, trigger, being able to be triggered so easily. And ultimately, when we're triggered, that's up to us. It's up to us to get rid of that trigger. It's up to us to control how we choose to respond to something, anyone, anything. It's our choice of how we respond to it. So there's this self-sabotage here, and maybe seeing things that don't exist, seeing problems that don't exist, seeing maliciousness in people that doesn't exist here. So in this second week, just be aware of this, of you sort of turning your passionate fire from this upright, this teamwork, this wish fulfillment, this happiness that this queen lives in. That's where she dwells, in a happy home, to just withdrawing and turning it upside down, and the fire actually burning you, because people are seeing you in a different light that doesn't truly represent you, Aries, that doesn't do you justice. So there's something that needs to be worked on within. There's something that needs to be gotten rid of, transmuted. Take the good lessons from it and leave the rest behind. Don't keep living in this past moment and withdrawing and almost living in this victimhood status. You need to shed that. Nobody's a victim. You choose to be a victim, because it's how we respond to anything, any abuses, any hurts, any gestures that people make to us. It's like, it's our choice of how we respond to it, and whether we want to be a victim or not. And there's a choice here being made in this second week, potentially, of going back to that victimhood for something that was nothing. If something was said that triggered you, that's your trigger. It wasn't meant too maliciously. There wasn't any bad energy here. Not really. It was probably just somebody's opinion. Also, with this card, you keep putting yourself in this position of this lack mentality, this lack of material success, this lack of material gain and sustainability, finances, home, car. And so again, this builds upon this victim mentality and makes it even more real to you, which makes it harder to see that you're living in that. So hopefully, if this resonates with you, this can remind you at the time where you start to feel like this, where you start to feel triggered over the tiniest of things, to really look at it and control it and see why you're feeling triggered, rather than taking it out on other people and withdrawing yourself from the situation too quickly. Work through it, and recognize that this is all your choice. The third card being, for the third week in March, the Hangman, but the Hangman in reverse. So not really acting in your full wisdom, Aries, you know, not really seeing the bigger picture. Again, that trigger point of being triggered and acting too quickly, withdrawing too quickly, reacting too quickly, not being able to see that from that eagle's eye view of the whole picture. An uncomfortableness here in that, you know, again, instead of this being a card where you're taking your time to respond, you're taking your time to build your response and understanding why you're giving that response to anyone or anything. Instead, it's again emphasis on this withdrawal, that you're taking yourself away from to a space of solitude, but you know, you're not using that time in the way this major arcana can be used, when it's in its full wisdom, when it's exalted, looking at the bigger picture, taking time before you act too quickly. So there's this real sense of sabotage again, Aries, running through this, when you had such a success and merriment and bliss and contentment in the first week, wish fulfillment, and instead of looking at yourself regarding this and why this keeps happening, why this cycle keeps repeating, you're finding that very difficult. You're finding that very difficult to be in this space. So if this resonates with you, the advice I have for you is that, you know, really emphasize to yourself that your reaction is your choice. Nobody can offend you if you choose not to be offended. Nobody can push you out if you choose not to withdraw yourself too quickly. So this card, in its rightful position, is a poised card, full of wisdom, and he knows, this major arcana knows when to take time to just hang, to not hang in solitude uncomfortably, but hang in solitude just to transmute whatever needs to be transmuted before acting and then getting the wrong reaction invariably. So, you know, there's the advice to take time to withdraw, but in a different way, withdraw in a respectful way, so that people understand that you're just returning to the womb for a little while to ease any hurts, any pains, any trigger points that you've created throughout your life that keep this cycle going of this huge success, spurts of success like a sprint, and then so tired out and exhausted that things fall apart at the seams very, very quickly. And you know, and know that you're enough, and know that you're enough to continue this success, continue this dream that you have at the start of this reading. Know that you're enough, Aries, to have fulfillment in your life, and have this wisdom to be able to see the bigger picture. You know, to clarify that card, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So there's almost like this feeling of, and I'm sorry, Aries, I'm always truthful, this feeling of selfishness, of me. And you want this seed, you want this material success, and it's being given to you. The opportunity is there, the people to work with are there, they want you. They want to appreciate and respect what you do creativity wise. But you know, you're not seeing that, and it's almost like this selfishness in that it's all about me. But instead of it being all about me with this card the right way up, and being all about me, that I'm going to self-discover, I'm going to figure out what these triggers are, I'm going to figure out what keeps repeating this cycle. It's a case of just me, I can't have this, and it's everybody else's fault. On the other hand, I must say that some of you might be experiencing somebody that comes into your life and has this selfishness about them that is a block to this material success, to this creative endeavor, to this something that you want to grow. And if that's the case, again, use that wisdom in this card, in this hangman. Use the wisdom to know that it's time to withdraw from that person. It's time to not involve that person in all aspects of your life anymore. because there's a sense of sabotage for some of you out there also from outside forces, genuinely. But for the main part, it's self-inflicted victimhood here that needs to be looked at, that needs to be transmuted and changed into something positive for you to go forward and stop repeating the same cycle with the same lessons that are within it. Because that's the only reason it's repeating, is because you haven't quite learnt the lessons that you need to learn from this period in time. You know, by going within, by looking at that, you immediately unlock this cycle of the newness of this creative seed that is a gift to you, that the universe is aligning all aspects in order to nurture this seed, for you to have the opportunity to go for it and go for that childhood dream that you had to do. Music, art, whatever it is, whatever, gardening also I'm hearing. So, you know, a little bit of concern there. So the fourth week we have the 8 of fire. So where there's lots of passion, it seems to be misdirected passion, and it's a bit of a mixed bag, which is good for card wise, element wise, but there's this where you are a fire sign, and you know, truly could learn how to manipulate and use that fire within, that passion within, that go-getter, that starter upper kind of energy. Everything's like sort of reversed, everything's sort of self-inflicting, everything's burning you right now. Again, the 8 of Wands, I think, representing on the main for the majority of Aries here is this acting too quickly on trigger points, sending those messages that later you will regret, that later will burn you, because, you know, if you'd taken the time out, if you'd taken the time to be that hangman in his element, you know, you would have known to not send that particular message that you're being urged by the selfishness to send. So that's a word of warning, and it'll pay off greatly if you can just take the time to think about it, think about why you want to send these messages, think about what you want to say and why you want to say it. And I think 9 times out of 10 during the month of March 2020, Aries, you'll decide that actually I don't need to send that message. I've calmed down now. Actually, I don't think they meant it that way. I can see now that it was meant in a completely different way, and it wasn't for malice. It wasn't nastiness towards me. So just take that time out. Don't act too quickly. The other card to clarify is just dropped down here. 1 second. I'll get it. And it is another fire card, the Knight of Wands. So moving in too quickly, those messages that I've just been talking about that will burn you if you send them too quickly. You know, this Knight is very fast paced, in and out. He's very Aries, you know, he's a go-getter, he gets things done, very passionate about what he does, but your passions maybe are misdirected, Aries, if this resonates with you, in that your passion is to sort of get validation from everyone else, that it's everyone else's fault but yours, that this cycle continues, and you're in and out quick with those messages of unease, unhappiness about situations, about relationships, about work, whatever that is, and it's acting too quickly, and it will burn you. So, you know, really try and go within this month of March, Aries, and look at those trigger points, to release yourself from those trigger points so that you can attain these passions, these goals, with the speed and gusto that you want to, but in the right way, and not be hurting those around you, and also not you feeling so hurt. It's not nice to be in this position where you're putting yourself in the 5 of Pentacles, where you're removing yourself because, you know, you get scared of success, you get scared of this teamwork because it's going to end anyway, so why don't I just end it now quickly anyway? It's that kind of energy, and that's not comfortable for you, that's not nice for you, and I don't wish that for you. And you have the capacity, the wisdom to go within and resolve this and make this this wish fulfillment, this attainment, this teamwork, you know, a lasting phase in your life, something that you can build upon. The Page of Swords on the bottom of one of the decks, and that is news coming in. You know, wait, be patient. The news that you want is coming in, but don't be too hasty, because you being too hasty with the messages that you put out, I'm feeling might just block this good news that was coming in, that was just around the corner. And again, that's more self-sabotage, acting too fast, leading to real dismay, discomfort, and making poor decisions. So on the other deck, on the bottom of the deck, is the Six of Pentacles. See things for what they are. There are people around you that want to be generous with their time, that want to be truthful with you, that want to work with you, that want you to give to them and them to give to you, to have that reciprocity. You know, you sort of trapped yourself into this feeling of everyone's against you, the universe is against you. No, the universe wants to work with you. The people around you want to work with you and want you to be a part of it. They want you to be a part of the relationship or the team or the project. So, you know, take a look at that with a different lens, without this victimhood lens, and see what you see. And I've got a feeling you'll see people that really care, that really want to be around you, that really want to create something lasting with you, and have that reciprocity and generosity bounce back and forth between you. So the opportunity is there, Aries. So I hope this helped. It wasn't the most comfortable reading, of course not, because it wasn't all praise, 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 you know, namaste, love and light. It wasn't all of that. But I send this in love and light. I genuinely do. And understand that this is a very uncomfortable place to be, because this reading represents somebody who is uncomfortable about looking at the self, uncomfortable about going within, and maybe frightened of what they might find, frightened of taking responsibility for self. I just want to let you know, Aries, that that's all possible, and you are strong enough, you are everything enough to have a lasting phase of success in your life, to really enjoy your creative endeavors. You're a creative, passionate sign. So, you know, you are enough, you can do this, and you do deserve this. When you're acting in a manner of generosity and reciprocity, you deserve the good of this. You deserve this seed, this pentacle, this something material, this something that you can really put your passions into in a healthy way and not a self-detrimental way. So I hope it helped. And I'm excited to see what the following month will bring for you and the changes that might have been made for you. Any comments about that would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to hear how people are getting on. Of course, I understand, especially with this kind of reading, it's very private to people, and that's fine also. Thank you for all of the personal messages of thanks for what I'm doing. It really does keep me going. It really does make me smile. If you would like a personal reading with me, get in touch with any of the details above or below, depending on where you're watching this. And also you can contact me on Facebook Messenger. But if you want a reading or any energy work where I help you facilitate the energy from within, which really eases anxiety and makes you feel more powerful, makes you feel more decisive, and all of that good stuff, then just, you know, put in capitals reading, energy work, massage, just so I can see it amongst all of the other messages that I'm getting. I'd really appreciate that. So much love, be balanced and be whole, Aries. I'm wishing you all the best, and you can do this. You are enough. You're an awesome initiate sign. You get things going, so get this going for yourself. Okay, love you all. Bye.